You might be a landlord affected by making tax digital, and you've obviously set up your Xero. And you might be thinking to yourself, I wonder whether it's possible to run profit and loss reports per property, because that would be really amazing, wouldn't it? And the great news is it absolutely is. And even better, I'm going to show you how to do it. And not only that, is I'm a landlord myself, and I've gone into one of my Xero accounts. I have a bit of a complicated setup where I have some properties with other people, and I have a separate Xero, and I have a limited company as well. So I've got 3 different Xeros to manage my properties, which gets a little bit confusing. But here we are. I'm going to show you exactly what I do. You'll be accustomed to this. Hopefully you've managed to integrate your bank account using a bank feed. You'll be seeing transactions to reconcile coming in. And what you might notice that's different in my Xero compared to your Xero is I've got this little drop-down box here. And that's to do with tracking categories. That allows me to assign any income or costs into a particular area in a business. If you had a trading business, for example, where you were running lots of vans, for example, you could track costs for each van or each income for every van into a tracking category. For landlords, actually, it's really easy. With properties, it's so clear to visualize that, isn't it? We get the rent for that property, we have the mortgage going out, we have all the costs. So it's actually very, very easy. Now, one of the little details, which I'll maybe show, and when I show you how to do this, we'll come back to, is I've put an extra one in there called office costs. So these are all my properties that I've got, and I've just simplified them by abbreviating them. But sometimes you come across a cost that doesn't fit into one of those categories. So I always think it's a really good idea to have something called office costs, and that might be your accountancy fees. If you've got a insurance premium that goes out monthly, that covers all of the properties. It's sometimes easier just to put it into the office costs rather than worrying too much about splitting it all out. Now, how do you go about setting this up? Well, what we do is we go into accounting, and then we go into accounting settings. Then you'll see this option here. You've got tracking categories. So if I just click on tracking categories, and you can see that's where it is. Now, you have to add this overall tracking category to begin with called properties. Now, I've been using this Xero for many years, so I've already set it up. But you just click that button there, says what is it you want to do. Now you can see it's Xero's trying to add yet another one. You can actually have 2 groups of it, I suppose. I wouldn't overcomplicate things, by the way, with this, because every time you add a tracking category, you add a layer of complexity. One of the things that I think is really important that you do at the year end before kind of running any reports or anything like that is, running a report on anything that wasn't categorized into a tracking category to pick it up. The reason why this can be important is when we're reporting under Making Tax Digital, we might have properties where the splits are different, and Xero has said to me, actually, if you use tracking categories, it will make your life easier. And what you can have is a tracking category to another one to denote ownership structure. So you can have owners. So say you were using one Xero license, and you had some, various family members involved in the property business, but they had unusual splits. We can actually use tracking categories for owners as well. Which that's just a helpful detail that you might find useful as a property owner. I'm going to leave that for the moment. In terms of properties, if you just want to add all your properties, it's very easy. Just press add another option or add an option. You type in which property it would be for. Let's say I went and bought another one of the properties. I've got 2 on the same street. Let's say I've bought another one there. I would just add it in like that and press save. And then it's on my list. Now, very simply, once you've set that up, if I go back to the home screen, we've got the reconcile option there, and obviously that new item has gone into here as well. The reason I've set that owners up as well is because I do think that's quite an important detail, and a lot of people are affected, which is why I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit within the tracking categories. Is obviously if you did have, like, say, son, daughter, husband, wife, it's very, very common that, for example, a husband or wife owned a property before the relationship kind of started. You've never changed the ownership structure, but actually you're affected by Making Tax Digital because you then went on to buy some other properties and you just manage it all through one account. Your accountant in the past might have been like splitting that up for you and just doing a manual calculation. Under Making Tax Digital, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Because we can't actually do that. So yeah, just bear that in mind as well. What is the power of doing all of this? Well, let me show you. Is when we go into reporting and I click on profit and loss account, what you'll see, it defaults to this financial year. And if you have a look, I haven't actually done my bookkeeping up to date. Isn't that terrible as an accountant? Been so busy helping other people. But we've got this really helpful option up here called tracking categories. Now, what I would do here is run a report. So I choose one of my properties and go, let's have a look, see how that's performing. I would click on that tracking category and I would press update. And then there we are. Brilliant, isn't it? We've got a report. You might be like, hang on, Justin, that's not very useful, that total for me. Don't worry, we can just drop that off, anything like that. We've got a bit more control in some of these reports. Go and explore them in Xero. I find them really, really useful. If we set it up, because I'm terrible, I haven't done my things, we should be able to set up different items. I find this bar off the side really useful. So if I want to go like the current and last 3 months, and then I could filter and run a report on the tracking category like that and press update, and it would build at a month. Now, isn't it terrible? I haven't actually done my bookkeeping. If we go back and let's say we put 6 months of data on there and press update, you can see how it's working, and we can start seeing that performance. So I can look at it month to month, and it's really, really flexible. Now, one final thing I just want to look at with tracking categories. If I remove that filter and look again this time, this option here, this unassigned, everything should be fitting into these tracking categories. What I'm going to do in the next video is show you how you can use a very special feature called Find and Recode in order to correct some of those errors that you might find in your books or with tracking categories, or just generally bulk kind of correct things as well. So that's coming up on screen now. So make sure you watch that because I think you'll find it really, really useful. Just remember, this is a live Xero that I use in my property business as well. So this is an absolutely great example. And I hope you'll get a lot of value out of my videos. Thanks. See you next one. Bye.